Today I'm ranking all of the D&D rogue subclasses, from Arcane Trickster to the Swashbuckler. Which edgy rogue are you going to choose, and which one's better? I'm going to be ranking them on how fun they are to play in combat, and obviously DPS. Secondly, on roleplay potential, on how diverse can you be besides just murder hobo, chaotic good rogue that is always pickpocketing. So let's just jump into it. First and foremost, Arcane Trickster. One of the best subclasses in the game, I think. You get spells, which is what kind of is lacking in the rogue tree, via just what you can do out of combat, how useful you can be besides just stealing things, picking things, being stealthy. You get a little more utility, and one of the most utility cantrips in the game is Mage Hand, and you get the best version of it. The upgraded Mage Hand is my favorite thing in this whole class. You can stow things, you can retrieve objects, you can use Thieves' Tools, and so that's like a 30-yard range on your Thieves' Tool checks, which amazing. You can also make it invisible, which for RP's sake, you can just whoop, steal things. In addition, you can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to control the hand. So usually it's an action to interact with things in combat. Using your Mage Hand here, it allows you to use it as a bonus action. So that's kind of nifty. Arcane Trickster starts off really strong. You get some spells at level 3, and you get the improved Mage Hand, which is so fun. So early game, pushing S tier in combat, like I said, you can use that bonus action to help out, but you're also a rogue level 3. You're going to be decent gained here combat-wise, damage-wise specifically, for Arcane Trickster early. Though you should have like a level 1 spell. Yeah, a couple first level spells here, which you can swing the tides of combat with. Out of combat, going S tier with the rogue or the Arcane Trickster. So for mid game, this is gonna be the 9th and 13th level. That's like upper mid game, but we'll just call it mid game for the sake of the rogue subclasses, since we get things at 3, 9, 13, and 17 with rogue. Magical Ambush, it's okay. Versatile Trickster, also okay. You know, I was leaning S tier with this, but I think I'm gonna go A. It's great, you get spells, but as for a subclass, since we're ranking the subclass, you're not gonna get too much extra damage-wise besides Spell Thief, which is crazy. You can steal spells with a reaction, which is wild, but that's the upper tier, which most games aren't gonna run there. I've never even played at 17th level, aside from like a one-shot. That is going to be Arcane Trickster. We're gonna put that at the A for now. We might be moving this around. Next up, in my experience, the most popular subclass, the Assassin. Combat-wise, going S tier. For RP, look, mid-game, this infiltration expertise and imposter, so fun. Mimicking other people's speech, way fun. Creating false identities, also really fun to do. The biggest thing with Assassin, and why most people take it, is the auto crit. Double sneak attack dice, wild. I'm gonna keep the S tier open for now, but I'm putting this above Arcane Trickster. You know what? No, I'm going S tier. Assassin's a classic. You're gonna start off really strong. You're gonna break your DM's boss fights early game. Next up, Inquisitive. Here's where we get Inquisitive and Mastermind and Phantom are where we're gonna get into the more RP heavy rogue subclasses. Inquisitive is gonna be mostly like the insight, so you're gonna need high whiz. We have a reliable talent, a modified version of reliable talent level 3 for insight checks. So gonna be strong for finding who is lying to you, which can be helpful. You get a lot at level 3 here with the Inquisitive, so early game, you're gonna feel pretty useful. You're gonna have some bonus action to check for traps or clues. And then we also have Insightful Fighting, which is kind of goofy. But you get the ability to decipher an opponent's tactics and develop a counter. Not a huge fan of this, just because it's using a bonus action, so you're losing your hide, you're losing your disengage. But it can help. If you do it early on in the combat, you can get sneak attack every round on that creature, even if you're not getting advantage via hide or whatnot. So it can be nice. For the most part, you're going to want to keep that bonus action. All right, mid game for the Inquisitive, you get advantage on perception and investigation. Decent, keeping a steady eye. And unerring eye. This is going to be useful if you're in a campaign like where everyone's lying to you, like a Curse of Strahd or something with shapeshifters. People are deceiving, changing shape, and that will be helpful, but otherwise it's going to be very niche here. Late game, decent here, little extra bonus sneak attack damage, which not that great. I don't think I did the late game for Assassin, but you get Death Strike, which is crazy. Basically, you just double damage and you're auto critting. It's nuts. So Inquisitive, RP wise, you can be like a nice little noir sort of investigator here, but I think I'm gonna go B tier for Inquisitive. I think that's fair. Next up, Mastermind. RP wise, probably one of my favorites. If you want to run a Thieves Guild, this is the class to take. Master of Intrigue, so you're gonna get Disguise, Forgery, extra language, and you can take that, I believe it's what, Assassin level 13, where you can mimic speech. You can do that at level 3 as a Mastermind. Master Tactics, bonus action help. It can work. I mean, giving advantage to somebody else up to 30 feet away, if there's a really critical part of the combat, you can help them out from a distance. So Insightful Manipulator, not that great. I guess it could be really good if you need to double check if something's really low for your other casters in the party, like Charisma, Wisdom, if you're trying to charm them or something. But aside from that, not that great. Early game Mastermind is going to feel good. Mid game, not so much. Soul of Deceit here at the end. You can't be read telepathically. Gonna be pretty niche here, but you can basically lie to anything through truth magic, like Zone of Truth. I don't know how strong this is gonna be or how many times you're gonna be able to use this, but when you can use it, you're gonna feel like a boss. So I think I'm gonna put Mastermind. It's kind of in the same camp as Inquisitive, where you can RP, it's gonna be great, but I think I'm gonna go upper B tier, above Inquisitive. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this so far. All right, next up, Phantom. If you want to be like undead edgelord rogue, this is probably what I would take. This is a goofy class. It's not like your classic rogue. It's strange here. So you're going to have like a trinket. What level do you get the trinket? Oh, that's 9. So mid game, you're going to have a trinket, but before that, you're going to have Whispers and Wails of the Grave. So when you finish a short or long rest, you can choose one skill or tool proficiency that are lacking, gain it. Basically, the ghosts are telling you knowledge of things, which RP wise, if you have a good DM who's going to want to RP all these ghosts, it's going to be really cool. You can kind of play a weird, like medium rogue, talking to the dead. Along with that, Wails from the Grave, you can channel that power of the death to harm someone else as well. Immediately after you deal sneak attack damage, you can target a second creature, roll half the number of sneak attack dice. So you're gonna do extra damage early. So very cool. Mid game is where I think this starts to excel. As a reaction when a creature you see dies, you can open your free hand to cause a tiny trinket. Yeah, you turn their soul into a small trinket, which creepy. If you're going that extra mile of like description and RPing, this is going to be wild. You can do things. You get advantage on death saves using their life essence. When you deal sneak attack damage, you can destroy one of the soul trinkets and immediately use Wails from the Grave, which I just went over. You can also destroy one of the trinkets no matter where it's located. When you do so, you can ask the spirit associated with the trinket one question. If you have a good DM, Phantom's going to feel great. New to the table, probably not a class I would bring. Ghost Walk, Flying Speed. I don't need to say any more, do I? End game, Death's Friend. When you use your Wails from the Grave, you deal the necrotic damage to both the first and second creature. So not that great for a level 17 skill, but I am going to put it upper B. If you have a good DM though, this could be S tier. You know what? Let's go low A. Next up, we have the Scout. This is the rogue class that is like most like kind of what Rangers wanted to be. Unfortunately, if you're gonna play a Ranger in D&D 5e, look at the Scout class. So moving half your speed is a reaction, amazing, and survivalist early. Mid game, you're gonna have that extra walking speed, which if you're a wood elf or something, or have the mobile feet, you're gonna be running crazy. This also applies to swimming and climbing, which is great. We got Ambush Master. This is kind of like in vein with the Assassin level 3. You have advantage on initiative rolls, which is great. In addition, the first creature you hit during the first round of combat becomes easier for you and others to strike. So that first round, your whole party is going to thank you. Everyone gets advantage. Great. Lastly, 17th level, Strike with Deadly Speed. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can make one additional attack as a bonus action. This attack can benefit from your sneak attack, even if you already used it in this turn. So double sneak attack, sudden strike on the same turn. Taking 2 targets down. Good tracker. I'm going to throw this low A, maybe even above Phantom. If you're looking to be a tracker or like one with nature, this Scout class is gonna be, it's gonna be great. I may be biased on this next one because I play a Soulknife rogue. I love psychic damage. I played psychic Pokemon, Gengar life. This class is good and it's fun. Early game, great. The psionic power is awesome. You can telepathically communicate between yourself and others. So this is great for sneaking in, and it's at a crazy, like, yeah, 1 mile. So you can basically establish connections, sneak in as a rogue, and then communicate with up to your proficiency bonus. And it's up to 6 hours if you roll on the high on the energy dice. Telepathy with your party is great communication, and it's quiet, so that's awesome. The other side of the die literally side bolstered neck. It's basically like having an inspiration die that you can choose to use or not. It can really help you squeeze out those rolls. The cool part, the psychic blades. You throw psychic blades like Gambit throws cards, which is good and bad. So there are pros to psychic damage. Most of the time, it's going to do full damage. That it's not, it's going to do 0 damage. We infiltrated a thing with constructs. I was completely useless. Actually, the cleric gave me, he had a short sword. He had to hand it to me so that I could actually do any damage. There's a downside of it, but you basically can throw 2 psychic daggers and they leave no trace. So they vanish immediately after they hit or miss and it leaves no mark. So you can be like a silent assassin. Nobody knows what happened. They're like, he had a stroke. No, psychic blades. Mid-game, you can teleport to your blades, which are 60-foot range. And then honing strikes, basically you can hit them if you miss. You can basically reroll or add damage, yeah. Mid-game, Psychic Veil. You can weave a veil of psychic static to mask yourself and become invisible. Crazy. And then end game, we're getting Rend Mind. When you attack, they make a whiz save, and then they're stunned for 1 minute. Crazy. I think I'm going... Okay, I am biased. S tier. Low S, I think Assassin. If you're looking for the psychic damage, though, and not the poisoning, Soulknife is where it's at. Now, I think these last 2 are like 2 rogue favorites. Very iconic. Both very good. Swashbuckler, we're going to be leaning more charisma here as opposed to some of the others like Mastermind, Inquisitive, or we're going to grab Wisdom, Int with the Arcane Trickster. But so if you're looking to be a little charismatic as well, this is the rogue class for you. Why? Because of this. Rakish Audacity. You can give yourself a bonus to initiative rolls equal to your charisma. You're also going to get fancy footwork. You're also going to get fancy footwork. When you land a strike, you can slip away. It's kind of like Drunken Master Monk, but you're going to be weaving in and out. Paired up with Rakish Audacity, you're going to gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on the attack roll as long as you're close. Very swashbucklery. Take your rapier, oh, wah, and dip out. Along with that, mid-game, you're going to get Panache? Not sure how to say that. At 9th level, your charm becomes extraordinarily beguiling. And as an action, you make a charisma persuasion check. And if you succeed, it has disadvantage on attack rolls. Basically, you talk shit mid-combat, and if you succeed, then they're going to be charmed, and that's it. I mean, you can take something out of combat and make it a friendly acquaintance that is then going to fight for you. And also mid-game, you're getting Elegant Maneuver, which is a bonus action. You gain advantage on dex, acrobatics, or athletics checks. So if you want to do something cool, a little acrobatic, doing a flip. Swashbuckler is all about being fancy, very Zorro. If you want to be Antonio Banderas, pick Swashbuckler. In late game, 17th level, we're getting Master Duelist, turn failure into success. If you miss, roll again with advantage, you're always going to be hitting. Great in combat. I am putting it above Scout for sure. Honestly, I'm going to bump Phantom down. It's too dependent on your DM. And as a DM, I could see it getting annoying. Like, well, what's this trinket look like? What's this dead person say? What's that dead person say? It's like, all right, dude. Cool it with the trinkets. I like this. Swashbuckler above Scout. I like the shit talking mid-combat. I like high charisma characters. If anything on this list, I would swap where Arcane Trickster is and Soulknife. But I like where this is at. Last but not least, I would say along with Assassin, this is the most iconic rogue subclass. If you're not an assassin, you're a thief. And every other subclass is a combination of being an assassin and stealing stuff. Whether you like it or not, that's why you picked rogue. To steal stuff, get the drop on people, and take them down. That's why I'm valuing assassin so high, and that's why I'm going to be valuing thief really high. Fast hands is crazy. Bonus action, disarm, bonus action, sleight of hand. You like to attack, and then what? Oh, pickpocket all in the same turn? Boom. Early game, you're also going to be climbing faster than normal and sneaking into that second story, making those long jumps. You're breaking in through the top story. 9th level, Supreme Sneak. If you move slower, you get advantage on stealth. Anytime. Because usually before combat, you're not really using movement. You can just say, I'm going slow, using Supreme Sneak. It's really not going to penalize you. Not going to be a big deal. Advantage on all stealth. That's basically what this is saying, which in line with the first two, second story work. Climbing no longer costs extra movement, so you're just going to be climbing real slow, getting that advantage on stealth. Mid-game, we're also going to use Magic Device. You ignore all class, race, level requirements, which I'm sure there are some crazy combos. They're like sorcerer specific or druid specific that you attach to this thief that you've stolen or something, this item that you've stolen that is just bonkers. I'm not going to go through all the magic items with restrictions and figure out something that's way broken. I'm sure there's already somebody out there that's done that. When you reach 17th level, you become adept at laying ambushes. So you take 2 turns during the first round of combat. You get 2 sneak attacks, too, because sneak attack states that you can only get it once per turn, but if you're taking 2 turns, which also means you get 2 reactions. Love this. I want it above Scout. I want it above Swashbuckler. I'm going to bump Inquisitive down to C, Scout down to B. I'm going to go like this. Yeah. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Having just like the message cantrip or something kind of takes over the Soulknife bonuses. It kind of, you know, Unseen Servant and Mage Hand combo. All right, I'm going to do something. I think I personally am valuing Soulknife too high. I'm going to do this. Inquisitive, my least favorite rogue class, but still cool if you want to be an investigator or something. I think it's very strong. Mastermind is great RP wise if you want to run a Thieves Guild. I think that's the one I would take. Kind of being in control and being in charge. Mastermind is strong. Phantom, if you want to go the undead route and have a good DM and you talk with them and that's about how you want to play the souls and the trinkets and stuff, that could be very fun. And then if you want to be a tracker, scout, all day. That's not really my preference. It's like the tracker guy, but if that's your preference, I think Scout's great. The 5 classes that I think are amazing here. Swashbuckler for that charismatic, flashy combat sort of guy. Thief for if you want to be a shadow man just stealing everything. Take Thief. Soulknife for your edgy psychic damage. Arcane Trickster for the intense and amazing mage hand. And Assassin for doing that bonus surprise damage, taking people's identities, poisoning. It's hard to go wrong with Assassin. But this is my tier list. I will link the tier list in the description below, so please go through, rank them yourself. We'll see how the community ranks it here. So comment below on what class I should rank next. That is the Rogue subclass tier list presented by me, Squidlegs. If you'd like to, we have a Discord. I'll link below. A Discord D&D Living World if you'd like to join and participate in a game where I DM. There are little small adventures in there too that I'll be posting that you can join and participate in and interact with the world. We have a stream game on every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central at Thalass Gaming channel below. Check that out. Subscribe, of course. Like the video, subscribe. Love ya.